fight time, we definitely gonna try to take each other's heads off. Closer to fight goal, we both gonna be eager to, show who's the more dominant fighter.
The scenes, you gotta pick a side. I'm going with Crawford. I'm here to support Crawford.
But boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, not taking nothing away from you.
Terence Crawford left Piers Morgan and viewers stunned with just 5 words. We're going to take each other's heads off. But he didn't stop there. With fearless conviction, Crawford declared, "A win against Canelo Alvarez would put me on Mount Rushmore." It wasn't trash talk. It was a statement of intent. Bold, direct, and unforgettable, Crawford's live declaration set the tone for what could be one of boxing's most iconic showdowns.
Can deteriorate, and can. But, a win against Canelo Alvarez, what it would do to my career would put me, on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
I think I would be one of the greatest fighters ever.
At a recent press conference, Terence Crawford's confidence was undeniable. He took direct aim at Canelo Alvarez, mocking his physical attributes while issuing a stern warning about what's coming. Crawford's comments weren't just for hype. They revealed a fighter completely locked in, both mentally and emotionally. This pre-fight energy signals that Crawford isn't just looking for a win. He's out to dominate and send a message. He's ready to shake up the sport in a way fans won't forget.
Right. Yeah. The only running that I'm gonna be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. Facts. And he got a big head too.
Promoter Eddie Hearn recently shared how impressed he was after speaking with Terence Crawford, highlighting the fighter's unwavering confidence and mental focus. What stood out most, Hearn said, was Crawford's absolute belief in his skills and preparation. Even with the high stakes of facing someone as seasoned and powerful as Canelo Alvarez, Crawford remains calm and assured. He's not relying on hope, he's certain. Hearn's remarks underscore the rare self-belief elite athletes possess when they're fully prepared and clear on their mission.
Back and forwards, to be honest with you. Like, when I talk to Bud, he convinces me that he's going to win the fight because he's such a believer in his own ability, and he's very convincing. And then you see the presser yesterday, I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo, then I sort of tend towards Bud, but now I'm back to Canelo. So.
Respected trainer Bill Haney has joined the growing chorus of boxing insiders backing Terence Crawford. But Haney didn't just make a prediction. He aligned himself fully with Crawford's mindset and mission. His unwavering support for the American fighter carries weight, especially from someone deeply rooted in the sport. Having witnessed countless champions rise and fall, Haney's endorsement is a testament to the respect Crawford commands from seasoned voices who recognize greatness when they see it.
For everybody that was straddling the fence, straddling got your pants split. At the seams, you gotta pick a side. I'm going with Crawford. I'm here to support Crawford. He just signed up to do what everybody thought that he wasn't trying to be, a generational talent. Another fighter on the Mount Rushmore of boxing. Yeah, so don't split your pants, pick one.
Trainer Derek James sent a strong warning to Canelo Alvarez's camp, stressing that Terence Crawford is a completely different challenge. Unlike Canelo's past opponents, who often struggle to adjust mid-fight, Crawford thrives in unpredictable, high-pressure moments. James highlighted Crawford's rare mix of timing, movement, and adaptability, qualities that can unravel even the most seasoned fighters. His message was unmistakable. Underestimating Crawford's versatility would be a costly and dangerous mistake.
The thing about Crawford is he believes he's on it. Like, he believes he's the one. So that's the difference between him and any other fighter that's Canelo fight. Because Canelo, people fight the idea of Canelo Alvarez more than fight the individual. The thought of him is going to put his feet in their heart. But he doesn't care about that because he's Terence Crawford, so it's a totally different thing. So if he can implement his strategy and ride it out to the end of the fight, he's going to be successful. But if Canelo, what he needs to do, and the timing has to be on point. He's not that fast as Crawford is. It's all about time.
Brian Bomack McIntyre, the strategist behind Terence Crawford's rise, made it clear that his fighter is operating at peak performance. He emphasized that Crawford's preparation has been flawless, combining elite conditioning, intense film study, and focused sparring. McIntyre believes Crawford is not only physically ready, but also mentally sharp enough to execute a perfect game plan. In his view, it's Crawford's superior ring IQ and rock-solid fundamentals that give him the decisive edge needed to secure a statement victory.
Styles makes fights. Bud got the better skills, and he got the better mind.
Do you think with the styles in mind, also the weight in mind, he can get that job done based on he's just so much more excelling in the skill?
You know what? He gonna get the job done. I promise you. He'll get the job done. You know, because Bud IQ, boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, not taking nothing away from him, but just a little bit better.
Bomac also addressed a common criticism of Terence Crawford's resume, that he hasn't faced elite opponents. He argued this perception stems not from weak competition, but from Crawford's sheer dominance. According to Bomac, Crawford is so effective in the ring that even top-tier challengers end up looking average. This ability to neutralize threats and turn difficult fights into one-sided displays, he said, is not a flaw in his resume. It's the true hallmark of greatness.
Talking about this fight with Canelo Alvarez, and it was interesting to see the comments from Canelo and how he sort of assessed Crawford's career. I almost feel like the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point. It was done maybe from critics who never gave him the credit. It almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build the fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford. Everybody always says he has a fault. Nobody that he falls. But I'm gonna tell you like this: Crawford said there was something to Crawford faults. Obviously, he did a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone is good. I don't think there's anyone else that wants to ask and say this is impossible. That's for Crawford. And apparently. Smoke about it.
The promotional build-up of the fight has been nothing short of electric, with heated exchanges and rising physical tension during every face-off. Fans are hooked by the intensity. Each shove, stare down, and verbal jab only adds more fuel to fire. What started as a battle for titles has evolved into a full-blown spectacle. Now, it's about more than belts or rankings. It's about pride, identity, and proving who truly reigns at the top of the sport.
Canelo pushes Crawford. This might be the biggest fight of the past 50 years. This is gonna be crazy, guys. Look at this. Look. Dana White in the middle, UFC involved, WWE involved. Y'all think this was real? It looked real to me. I don't know. Crawford was staring them down too.
Speculation is growing that Canelo Alvarez may be underestimating the threat Terence Crawford presents. Many fans and analysts argue that Crawford's power is dangerously underrated and could even hand Canelo his first knockout loss. What sets Crawford apart isn't just strength, but the precision and unpredictability of his shots. He sets traps with expert timing and strikes with surgical accuracy. The concern among observers is that Canelo might not be fully prepared for a fighter this calculated and explosive.
Yo, Canelo is about to get knocked out for the first time in his career. Y'all really playing with Crawford, bro. Y'all don't realize how much power Crawford actually has. I don't care what weight class he's coming up from. Canelo has never fought anybody like Crawford. I'm just kidding, bro. Obviously, I'm just kidding, bro. You really thought I was with the bullshit? Like, come on, yo, Canelo different, bro. He's looking like a lion right now. Like the king of the jungle type shit. Stare down, bro. Like this man, if y'all really think this man is gonna get knocked down, this guy has, look, you could say they both the same size, you know what I'm saying? He got a longer reach, whatever. But this dude has fought bigger and better opponents than Crawford, and he has never gotten dropped a single time in his career. You think this little guy is gonna do something to Canelo? I'm gonna keep it a buck. If he manages to knock down Canelo, I'm gonna give Crawford all the props in the world. That would be crazy. But he's not doing that.
Despite all the talk surrounding size differences and weight class risks, Terence Crawford enters the fight with unwavering resolve. He doesn't see it as a gamble, but as just another challenge to conquer. Throughout his career, Crawford has thrived under pressure, dismantling opponents who were expected to overpower him. For him, this fight is about pushing boundaries and proving that greatness in boxing isn't defined by weight, but by skill, will, and heart. His mindset is rooted in purpose, not noise or hype.
Excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering. But yet still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him, I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 and come all the way up to 168, no weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, you know, he got that in the back of his head. You know, this guy, for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer. He moves. He can punch. He can do it all.
Amid all the pre-fight theatrics, an interesting layer of mutual respect has emerged between the two fighters. Despite the verbal jabs and tense face-offs, both have acknowledged each other's skill and professionalism. Viral footage of them sharing a meal reminded fans that beneath the rivalry lies genuine sportsmanship. It's a compelling contrast. Public aggression tempered by private courtesy. This duality adds depth to their showdown, making the upcoming clash even more intriguing as respect and brutality meet in the ring.
I don't like this right here. I don't like this at all. Now, I know y'all love Turkey. I like him too. Put some good fights. And I get that he's trying to show that, hey, through the sport, it's love and unity. No matter who's the biggest, the baddest, whatever, they still support each other. And I'm cool with that. But, before the fight, I need that feel of, oh man, yeah, these two going at it, these two going like, beat each other ass, they gonna knock each other out. That's how a fight build-ups should be. I should really see these two sitting across from each other. Now, I'm not even talking about promotion. The fight doesn't need to be promoted. Two of the biggest fighters of our era, bang. But I need the promotion of oh yeah, I want to get fight against this person. I want to knock this person head off. I'm not saying they're not going to put on a good fight. I'm just saying I want to build up. That's what makes the fight even better. It's the build up. Think of all the past fights that happened, even recently. Ryan Garcia in Tank. Ryan Garcia in freaking Haney. You know, fights like that. The build-up was so good. Even in the pre-fight, it was hatred or, hey, I want to beat you up type stuff. Now it's oh, I'm sitting there for you. You never have it. Nah, man, we can do this after the fight. That's fine. Before that fight, I'm not dead. I want to see that. Oh, I'm not dead. I'm going to knock it out. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You know, I know a lot of y'all have your opinions. But comment what y'all think about this.
Commentary from outlets like Showbiz The Adult highlights that timing, not just raw power, is Crawford's greatest weapon. While Canelo is known for having one of the strongest chins in boxing, analysts argue that Crawford's ability to find openings makes him a different kind of threat. It's not just how hard he hits, but when and where he lands. Experts suggest Canelo could walk into something unexpected, something he's never faced before. If that moment comes, it might mark the first knockout loss of his storied career.
The question I had, which I didn't ask before, because Canelo's chin is one of the greatest chins in history. But looking at the size of Crawford, if he can keep his speed, he's definitely going to keep his timing. He's definitely going to keep his accuracy. Crawford is a knockout artist. The reason why Crawford is a knockout artist is because of his hand-eye coordination, accuracy, and timing. He hits you with shit that you're not expecting. That shit that he hit Harold Spence with, he didn't expect it. That's why he dropped. Same thing with Kell Brook. He's going to hit Canelo with something weird. Canelo ain't going to be able to roll out of it. Because Crawford's timing is different. Canelo's going to get hit with flush. But the thing is, Berlanga hit Canelo flush after the bell. So that lets you know what kind of chin he has. I'm just saying, can he stymie, can he bell ring Canelo a little bit? Can he sting him a bit to make Canelo not tank for 12 rounds?
Veteran boxing journalist Dan Raphael offered a deeper perspective on Crawford's decision to take this fight. According to him, it's not about money, it's about legacy. Crawford isn't just chasing titles. He wants to be remembered as a fighter who took on the biggest challenges, regardless of weight or risk. Raphael acknowledges the danger in facing someone like Canelo, but sees it as the bold kind of move that separates the greats from the legends. It's high risk, high reward, and Crawford is fully committed.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A. almost looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over at round 1, or there might have been so much more trouble. Stephen A., that was like, I don't know, 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage. Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think really.
On a technical level, this matchup is fascinating. Canelo's methodical, pressure-heavy style contrasts sharply with Crawford's fluid, adaptive approach. While Canelo thrives on patience and devastating body shots, Crawford relies on speed, angles, and rhythm changes to dictate pace. Experts agree the early rounds will be key. If Crawford can manage distance and disrupt Canelo's timing, he could seize control. But if Canelo cuts off the ring and lands to the body, it could shift momentum. This fight promises a true tactical battle.
Well, I think Canelo, he likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable, and in spite of not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most, and maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit, and because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him, maybe he can counterpunch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly. But Madrimov was countering him. If you can counter the counter-puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that. And Canelo can counter people really well. And as great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Alvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights on Riyadh season. Again, I'm disappointed for Jake Paul, but I am happy for boxing fans because, my God, this is the treat of the year. And look, I'd love to see Canelo in there with a Hamza Shiraz. I love Hamza Shiraz. He's one of my favourite fighters in the world, and I think he's the future.
For Bomac, strategy is everything. He believes Crawford's ability to read opponents, adapt mid-fight, and stay composed under pressure is what sets him apart. While he respects Canelo's power and experience, Bomac is confident Crawford will identify and exploit the Mexican star's weaknesses. From footwork to punch selection, every detail has been meticulously drilled in camp. Crawford isn't just preparing to fight. He's preparing to outthink, outmaneuver, and ultimately outclass a reigning champion.
I feel fucking great about it, man. He's talking to Bud, and he's motivated. He's ready to go.
He's been waiting a long time for this fight. You know what I mean? You guys are taking off a long time. Just waiting for the Canelo fight, haven't fought since August last year. Do you think that's gonna make him better, sharper?
You know what? It's gonna make him a little wiser. Make him wiser. Give his time his body to heal up, rest up a little bit. Put dinks here, dinks there. Take his time, get in his shape, get his mind right.
Now,
go in there and do it, make it happen.
A lot of people's talking about the weight. They're talking about that, Boy going up 2 weight classes. He didn't look in spectacular form at 154, but he's going up in weight to face a bigger guy. What do you say about that?
Let's go, man. Let's go. It ain't about weight all the time.
That's all for today. Stay tuned in.